Extracts from We Keep Going for Each Other Family Stories of Travellers Through Prison Times by Traveller Men in Prison and Traveller Women as Family Members.
We're members of the travelling community whose families have been affected by prison. We're mothers, fathers, partners, sons, daughters, sisters and brothers. This is a story from Pavies.
We hope that our stories will help other families that are going through similar hard times. We hope that our stories will help to make some bit of a change.
Holding our identities in our hearts. Everyone is different and every family is different.
Some of us grew up on the side of the road. My family moved from place to place, following their work. You see more when you're travelling, meeting cousins and selling horse at fairs.
Some of us love our houses, but we're still travellers. You're a settled traveller, some settled people would say. But there's no such thing as a settled traveller. That's only their own made up word.
No matter where we are, family is number one, and I hope that our families will always be okay.
I'm proud of my family and I'm proud of who I am.
Our identity and pride in being a traveller, it definitely comes from our families. It's in our hearts.
It's your lifeblood. It would be inside you, bred into you. You look around and you see, that's your name, your people, your pride. The system stinks. Racism is a knock to our hopes and dreams.
We've had a lot of racism in our times. When you're a traveller, you're pushed away from things. Pushed away from where you want to live. Pushed away from education. Pushed away from jobs. Pushed away from society. Racism makes you feel very low.
Racism makes you not fit in from a young age. Travellers don't feel safe in Ireland today. We don't feel equal.
When people keep bringing you down, giving you knocks, it can make you feel very low. It can do great damage to your hopes and dreams for the future.
Anger as a response.
Many of us have expressed our anger. Our anger is a response to being treated unfairly and with disrespect, and a way of holding on to our pride. When you regularly see your friends, your settled friends, maybe your best friends, get into a pub or a nightclub and you're refused, it can cause great anger. You might break a glass or shout at the bouncer. Guards are called and you might get arrested and thrown in a cell. That makes you feel very angry with society, and your hopes and dreams for the future are lost.
In prison in your head. Discrimination and grief, depression and suicide are major issues for our community.
Pride can get you to hold in your pain. A lot of travelling men are not used to asking for help about problems, or saying to someone that we feel down today.
You're in prison in your head, tortured by your own thoughts, locked away. Tears, hurt, grief and sadness. I've been there outside prison, I've been there inside prison. That's a dark place to be.
For many of us, drink and drugs have become a way of trying to push the pain in life behind us, a way of trying to hold on to happiness.
Addiction takes us away from what we want in life, especially by the hurt it causes our families.
You see, addiction can tighten its hold, especially when there's nobody there to put out a hand and say, look, I'm reaching out for you, or at least I'm here for you.
The effects of prison on our lives. Keeping safe can bring dilemmas of the heart.
Prison rips our lives apart.
When the cell door closes with a big bang, it rips your life apart. Outside the prison, partners, children and parents are worried and stressed out. They are doing the sentence too.
Our demons haunt us.
In the boredom of prison, your demons haunt you. There is the guilt for why you are here. I think about the people I have hurt. I am paying a price in prison, but it doesn't give them back what I have took.
There's the guilt of missing their lives outside, for missing funerals, weddings and births. If you have children, prison is hell with the guilt of missing their lives.
Many of us have taken drugs to try to blank the feelings.
Some of us put on a face, bad boy, messer, big man. You might prefer to walk away from trouble, but pride and a fear of being seen as weak, of being bullied, gets in the way.
Stress for families.
Partners on the outside, prison brings a lot of stresses of having and rearing children alone. Getting to visits with my partner every week was a very big part of the stress for me. In sun, wind or rain, the visits means long walks and standing in queues with our children. You queue for the metal detector, for the dogs, for the long walks to the visiting box, for your bare 50-minute visit. Sometimes you only get 15 minutes. When they transferred him to Portlaoise, we were the ones that were tortured, with 200 miles up and back again. But I'd go through it all, just to keep our family bonds alive.
Bonding is not easy.
It's not easy on a visit to bond with your partner and children at the same time.
When the officers say, "Time up, folks," sadness kicks in. You give them a hug. You see them walk away. I put on my happy face, but it's killing me deep down. You go back to your cell. Your mind is racing. Is she going to be all right? Is my children going to be all right?
Life is too short for dark holes.
Many of us worry that visits will make prison normal for our children.
We don't want our children to go down this road. Life is too short to be spent in a dark hole and a place where you don't want to be.
Good intentions and the revolving door.
Leaving prison can be a time full of good intentions and plans.
At first, you're all excited. But if nothing is set up for you, a lot of us have found that the moment of freedom can be a dangerous time for your plans.
Most of us are cycled back into prison again and again.
The revolving door makes it harder to imagine and hope for another life.
We are not bad people in prison. We are human beings who have made mistakes. But maybe we wouldn't make those mistakes if we got the respect and help when we were younger.
What does it say about Ireland that allows so much pain of racism and inequality into the lives of the traveller people?
But what does it say about Ireland? That it gets families thinking that they're the ones who failed.
It says that the system stinks.
It says that it's time for change, so that no other family has to suffer the way our families have suffered.